What's up, everyone? Welcome to Frogman Friday. I'm your host, Ryan Birdman Parrot. That means absolutely nothing to anybody listening. I know that, but we're going to have some fun today. So, today, super excited. Another teammate of mine. We're going to tell his story, post service, and what he's up to today. Taylor Canfield, a brother, fought in the SEAL teams. He served for 10 years, finalized his rank as an E6 Petty Officer First Class. He is in Texas now. He founded an awesome organization. It's a company called Dark Trident Racing. And he's going to tell us a little bit about what he's doing today post-service, why he founded this, and where he wants to go. So thanks for being on, brother.
Thanks for having me, dude. Sorry I don't have such an awesome background like you. Kind of in a shack here.
Yeah, it's all made up stuff, though. I bought it all on eBay, so we're
It
good to
still
go.
looks cool, though.
Appreciate that. So, man, tell us about racing. Getting out of the service and you got into racing. Have you always been into racing?
Yeah, I've always been into racing, but professionally, no. Since I was little, it was kind of me and my dad's thing to just hot rod vehicles and dirt bikes and motorcycles. And so I've always kind of been a speed addict, and it really kind of came down to uh, my 10-year mark in the SEAL teams. It's, hey, either stay and do another 10 years and retire, or you get out now. And that's not everyone's thought, but that was my place. And I chose to leave the SEAL teams in order to go race NASCAR. And it's not been done before by anybody, so it's kind of a tough path to forge because there's really no book on how to do it. So we're just kind of figuring out as we go. But I mean, it's been fun so far, and it really kind of stems back to, again, NASCAR was kind of a pastime of me and my father. And my father unfortunately passed while I was just before I graduated buds. We were out on the island in third phase, and he ended up passing unexpectedly. So it kept weighing on me. Hey, what do I think he would want me to do next, and what do I want to do next? And the same answer for both questions seemed to be NASCAR. And so at the 10-year mark, I said, I'm leaving and I'm going to go pursue this. And while it's been a tough and rewarding adventure at the same time so far, and we haven't even really gotten started yet. So
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, super applaud you on this because unlike, everybody else that went into NASCAR, growing up, they continued through that path where you took a sabbatical for 10 years to serve this country. So for you to already jump in, racing already in NASCAR, got your own car, I mean, that's awesome stuff, man. So,
yeah, and I think it's a big advantage. I'm not saying I know how to race better than those guys, but I think I come in with an advantage over those guys with the mindset that comes from being, an elite special operator, and it's only going to benefit me in the future. So now I've got the intangible stuff in my head. I just got to learn the skill, and there's a lot of nuances to NASCAR racing, man. It's you know, being able to have the right words to tell your team of, hey, what is the car doing and what do you want it to do? What's it doing now and how do we make it better? That's on you as a driver. So it's not just driving the car. You have to relay what adjustments you want made. And it comes strictly with seat time. I mean, there's no way around being able to learn that aside from just getting seat time. And that's probably been the biggest struggle coming up to this point so far is getting races, getting seat time, getting practice. Because I mean, practice. There's plenty of races to be had if you have sponsors, but practice. Now with the new protocols in place that NASCAR has, we don't have really any practice anymore, and a lot of your first laps on a track are under a green flag in a race. And I love that part. I love that part because, the first time me and you jumped out of a plane, it wasn't with anybody strapped to our back, right? It was on our own with our own parachute.
you bet.
So I I fall back on that training of trial by fire, and I think that is my advantage coming into this new style of NASCAR racing. But regardless, like I said, there's a lot to learn, and I'm chomping at the bit to consume it as fast as I can and get up there.
So share with everybody right now. Tell us about Dark Trident Racing. What is it? Why did you found it? And what are you doing with it?
So Dark Trident Racing is actually an extremely new, still in the conceptual phase, to be honest with you. What I wanted to do and what I've been working on doing is bringing in some fellow coveted Texas frogs, such as the guy you see on the other side of the screen from me, Mr. Birdman, and some fellow other Texas frogs to help me lead this thing. And the goal is to own a NASCAR team at the highest levels and incorporate, veterans and charities as much as possible. There's not been a veteran to own a NASCAR team. There's never been a Navy SEAL to race in NASCAR or own a NASCAR team. And while I feel like the the audience of NASCAR is very supportive of the military, I don't see too many NASCAR teams, putting their money where their mouth is and actually supporting our veterans. So I really want to use, the team and the success as a platform to not only promote veteran charities, but employ veterans. The ultimate goal is to have the entire team consisting of veterans, from crew guys to crew chief to you name it. I want veterans on that team. And then we can also keep expanding outward to other charities, but all while going up in the NASCAR world at the same time. So it's a lot of drivers can say, hey, I got this charity, I got this foundation, and they do. They've got great charities and great foundations, but it's kind of a black and a white side where they race on one side and their charities on the other. Well, I want to combine those all, and I want my charities and my guys to be doing it while we're working. So it's a goal of mine to bring charities such as Sons of the Flag into the fold and make racing a part of their future, along with my own foundation called Greenlight Society. And what we do is we do adrenaline therapy for combat wounded guys. So if it used to get your blood pumping before you had an injury, we're going to try and do it afterwards. And so we do a lot of off-road racing, on-road racing. Again, I want to bring NASCAR into the fold here and find a circuit that we can start getting guys behind the wheel, even if only for a fun day. It doesn't have to be something that they're wanting to do professionally, but the goal is to kind of bring them back into the fold under a motorsports and adrenaline type pretense, because if you were in combat and you got wounded, chances are you were probably an adrenaline junkie before that. And once, depending on how serious your injury is, it can really take a lot of steam out of you. And if you're not, I guess, participating in your previous lifestyle of adrenaline, that's where a lot of guys get into depression and that whole road just leads down to a bad spot. So the goal is to reintroduce guys to adrenaline through motorsports and through action sports such as everything that you do. Now skydiving, I don't know. We'll see if that ends up making the list. But for right now, motorsports is a very reachable and attainable thing to bring up alongside of our NASCAR team. So that's kind of the whole point. And again, Dark Trident, it's just kind of a cool name. It doesn't have to be that. It's really kind of a very fluid state right now, and we're just kind of following where it leads us. But I'm also forging that path right now to try and show, a way for other guys if that's what they choose to do in motorsports. So
Sure. Well, I'll tell you what, so everybody, if you check him out, you'll see that, when he races in his car, he makes adequate spacing on his car. When you know that in NASCAR and in racing in general, you have to have sponsors and a lot of sponsors because it's a very expensive endeavor. But he makes adequate spacing for charities he believes in, and he puts their logos and he brands them and gives them the recognition that they so deserve. So, I've seen it with my own eyes. What you're doing is awesome there. So you got Dark Trident Racing. So what are you trying to do with it? Are you trying to raise money right now for the sponsorships for the team? Tell me kind of what you're working on so that we can help you.
yeah, so right now, what I'm doing is I'm playing puzzle master, I guess, and I'm trying to put some big puzzle pieces on the table here. And what I need are people that are willing to be partners in this. And it can be as little or as much as you want, but once somebody decides to be our partner, we want to go long term with them and show them as much value as we can generate for them. So right now we're looking for any sponsors, partnerships, vendors that want to be a part of this venture. Helps us tremendously, and I'm going to continue putting the puzzle pieces together to ultimately just make a NASCAR powerhouse of veterans and charities that people talk about in the pits. So
That's awesome. Okay. So people can go, Dark Trident Racing, does this, and this obviously we'll edit this stuff out, but just asking for your edification. If they go to darktridentracing.com, will they be able to see how to get involved with what you're doing?
Right now, Dark Trident doesn't have, we're working on the website right now,
Okay.
but it's not a functional website yet. I have my personal website, which is taylorcanfield.com. I think that we're going to turn into the informational website, I guess. Either way, there's going to be a lot of websites that they're all going to go to the same thing. We're just going to kind of interlink, the domain names and put them all to one website. So there's not 20 different places for people to go. But yeah, I mean, currently best place to look it up is just taylorcanfield.com, or my social media is the easiest way to kind of see what we're doing and reach me. Email is also a great way, but we're working on a lot of the websites, and once we have something that's tangible, I'll launch all that and we can update whatever we got to update.
Check. Okay. Well, so for everybody listening right now, if you go to taylorcanfield.com, you'll be able to check out what he's doing, follow him, be able to get in touch with him. And he is working on darktриdentracing.com right now, and that will be unveiled, and it'll actually just be morphed into what taylorcanfield.com is. So for right now, follow taylorcanfield.com. It's going to be, all this information is going to be at the end of this video. So we'll put it out there. And he's looking for sponsorships to make this veteran NASCAR team first Navy SEAL to race in NASCAR history. And he's going to populate it not only with veterans to run the team, but he's also going to populate it with causes to support, really influxing NASCAR with what the veteran community does, or what the military community does, and how we can help them on the back end. So keep following Taylor Canfield as he is crushing it. He's doing something that none of us are. And he's a dear friend. He's a brother. He served 10 years for us. So let's go and support him. Check out taylorcanfield.com. Follow his journey, and let's give him some love. Thanks for being on, brother.
I appreciate you having me, man. This is great.
Absolutely. We're gonna keep pushing, and we're gonna get you those sponsorships. And yes, I want a big picture of my huge muscles on the front of that car.
I did. I'm going to put your face on the hood, and we'll put your muscles down the sides. So.
Man, you must have a very small, low-profile car.
Hey, we got a lot of sponsors on board, right? You got a little bit of room there, so
that's
we'll make
the total
happen.
definition of a funny car right there. All right, man. Thanks for being on, brother. We'll catch up soon, huh?
I appreciate you having me. Talk to you soon.
You bet, bro.
Have a good one.